So shall we start?
Yeah, you can.
Good morning, all. Ayubowan. I, JC Yashaswini, Zone Director for Junior JC Wing, Zone 14, JCI India. JCI India and JCI Sri Lanka Cultural Exchange Program organized by Zone 14 Junior JC Wing, hosted by Bangalore Cosmo. The inauguration meeting is called to order. We have most amazing host of this event. Now I call upon JC Ratan Kataria, long President, Bangalore Cosmo, to welcome the dignitaries and delegates.
Thank you, Chairman. Chief guest for the day, National President, JCI Senator Anish Matthew Sir, National President, Sri Lanka, Dr. Dilhan Jaitileke Sir, Zone President, Zone 14, JC Samta Madam, Samta Miskit Madam, and Chairman for the day, Zone Director, Zone 14, JC Yashaswini Ma'am, and long President of JCI Colombo, JC Tariq Nazir, and all JCs from all over the world, past presidents, past EVPs, past national presidents, all the members of National Governing Board, all the members of Zone Governing Board, and all the members of Zone Governing Board, Zone 14, all the legends, presidents of Zone 14 and all over the JCI India and JCI Colombo, JCs, JC Rides, Junior JCs. I, in the capacity of host law president, welcome you all to this virtual cultural exchange program between India and Sri Lanka. Cosmo is very privileged to host this program, and Cosmo, being a 4-year-old LOM, has got this wonderful privilege to scale up the heights and reach to a level where it can host an international event. And all efforts to our Junior JC coordinator Yashaswini Madam for giving us this opportunity. And we welcome once again all the dignitaries. Thank you, and hopefully we all would have a wonderful time in this event. Thank you. Welcome all.
Thank you, President Ratan. That was wonderful welcome. Good morning, all. Respected National President JCI India, National President JCI Sri Lanka, immediate past National President, all past National President, National Executive Committee members, and National Governing Board members of JCI India and JCI Sri Lanka. Zone President, Zone 14, JC Samata Miskit Madam, ZGB members, and all JJC, Junior JCs, JC Rates, and JCs. According to geographical environment, we will celebrate certain culture, dressing, and rituals. All these things, unless we travel or unless we get to know, all these things will not know how the world is. We are created to visualize and understand and to know the culture of two different countries which are very close to each other. Sri Lanka is one such beautiful country which is known for its richest natural habitats, richest culture, and it is one of the Buddhist land in the world. Though the country is just eyesight away from our country, but many of us don't know the beauty of Sri Lanka. Let's have closer view to this rich culture and heritage of the country. We also invite the JCs of Sri Lanka who are very sweet and peace, harmony, and love to know the culture of Indian heritage culture of the India. Since India is a very big country, every 20 kilometers, there is a different type of culture we have and different type of language we speak. India is a very diversified country, so we are trying to present the one or best of the best essence of the culture of the India, and whole presentation will be given by our junior JCs. These are all the budding talent. They are yet to grow and yet to explore and experience the rich culture of our two countries. These are all the little efforts of growing young talent.
Sorry, we have NP of Sri Lanka, Dilan sir has joined with us.
Okay.
Dilan sir, JCI Bangalore Cosmo is very privileged to host you in our program, sir. We welcome you wholeheartedly. The whole of India welcomes you, sir. Over to Chairman.
Okay, thank you. These are all the little effort of growing young talents. I request all to take it in the right spirit to encourage our young ones. We are so lucky today. We have so many eminent leaders witnessing the event. It's our pleasure to recognize present and past National Executive Committee members and National Governing Board members of JCI India and JCI Sri Lanka. Chair would also like to recognize the presence of Governing Board members, long President, JCI Chairperson and Junior JC Chairpersons. Now I call upon JC Tariq Nazir, long President of JCI Colombo, for your words, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to address this gathering of India and Sri Lankan JCs. I, as the president of JCI Colombo, is honored and privileged to be here and be a part of this program today. As we celebrate the diverse cultures between the two countries. And already Sri Lanka and India having very close relationship, and our friendship has, dates back to 543 BC when Prince Vijaya actually came to Sri Lanka. That's when in modern history we learned that the civilization started. So dates back to that long. So I'm so happy to be a part of this program where we exchange our cultures on different topics with this team here in India, as well as some of us, some members from Sri Lanka who are not part of JCI Colombo but from different longs. And also, before I would like to thank my team, especially a few people. I would like to mention a few people who has been instrumental in, getting this program running from my side. That is Shamshad Nizam, who is our treasurer, who is actually the one who took care of this event, where he said he will take on, and he is also here. I'm so happy for him. Thanks to him, we were able to get the other team members also involved, and hopefully this would be a really good program. The other person I would like to mention is Isham Nizam. He is just a member, and also Harshani. Both of them are just members, recently joined, but they have put their inputs for this presentation that we are going to move forward with today. And just a little bit about the presentation. Our presentation for today will be talking about diversity and the richness of Sri Lanka's culture. Not much videos, but it will be kind of presentations where we would be talking about. So you all can hopefully expect some good things coming at the end of the presentation. So now I would like to take the opportunity to recognize some of the people who are here. First, I would like to recognize the presence of our National President, Dr. Dilhan Jayatilaka. I would like to recognize the presence of Secretary JCI Colombo, that is Vidya Savarnayaka. And also I would like to recognize the presence of Vice President JCI Sri Lanka, JC Hamis. And also I would like to recognize the presence of Vice President Praveen Dharmaraj. Thank you so much, Chair. Over to you.
Thank you so much for your wonderful words, sir. Now I call upon our dynamic and lovely Zone President, Zone 14, JC Samata Miskit, Madam, for your words. Over to you, Samata, Madam.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Happy morning to all. Thank you, Chair. Thank you so much for the privilege. So happy to say that after a long time, what we were expecting from JJC coordinator Yashaswini and myself, that today our whatever we have planned, so today we are seeing it. So we had a plan to do it with the other zones also when it was happening in physically, but today we unfortunately we have to do this with the online. So thank you for the wonderful program, Assistant Madam, from your side. Thank you so much, and thank you JCI Cosmo for your host. Thank you. And I also recognize the presence of our national president and very supportive person, JCI Senator Anish Matthews sir, and Area A EVP JC Anshu Sharaf sir, and also NP of Sri Lanka, Dr. Dilhan Jaitilake, and also the long president of JCI Colombo, JC Tariq Nazir, and all the, I want to know that all the norm coordinators of JCI India 2020 and also the past EVPs and current 2020 EVPs and also the past JCI India national presidents are your presence over here. Thank you so much, because your support is very much needed to the coordinators of Junior JC Wing. They are very happy to see you all, and they are having a very good plan today, and they are sharing their culture and tradition and whatever they have done. It is so extraordinary when we see their videos, and also the way they have performed, the way they have shown their interest, really outstanding. So I think Junior JC Yashaswini Madam has taken too much of risk to do this program, and also our Junior JC Wing is very happy to see actually today's what they have performed, to see with you all. So they're very excited. So not taking too much of time, wish you all the very best wishes to all the Junior JC kids of JCI Sri Lanka and also JCI Colombo, JCI Colombo and also JCI India. And thank you, Yashaswini Madam. Thank you so much for giving your complete support to the Junior JC Wing, and they are really outstanding. They are really very much happy after this program. I think they'll be very much happy for their performance and everything. Thank you so much, Yashaswini Madam. Over to you.
Thank you so much for your words, Madam. Today we have a special guest from our neighboring country, JCI Sri Lanka. May I call upon Junior JC Pranjal Monoth to introduce today's inaugurator. Over to you, Pranjal. No. We can't hear you.
Now?
Yes, start.
Hard work without talent is a shame, but talent without hard work is tragedy. I, Pranjal Jain, has got the privilege to introduce this multitasking and energetic personality. He is a sales, marketing, business development, and general management professional and carries a wealth of experience in various industries. He had primary and secondary education at Ashoka Vidyalaya, Colombo, and was a house prefect and head prefect. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Business Ethics and Corporate Social Responsibility, awarded by Preston University, USA. He started his career as Manager Sales and Marketing at Sasha Creations, and then went on to hold so many managerial positions at leading companies. Presently, he is the Head of Business Development at Arogya Health Private Limited. He served as the Vice President and President-elect of Rotary Club of Patala and the President of Lawrence Club of Patala. It is my tremendous honor to introduce our inaugurator for today. That is none other than the most talented, hardworking, and an amazing personality, Dr. Dilhan Sampat Jayatilake. I welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranjal. I request National President JCI Sri Lanka, Dr. Dilhan Jayatilake sir, to inaugurate and deliver inaugural address. Sir.
Thank you very much for the introduction. It's indeed a pleasure to have joined this cultural exchange program organized by JCI India Zone 14 Junior JC Wing, along with my very own chapter JCI Colombo and JC Bangalore Cosmo. So I think, as it was highlighted by previous speakers, JCI, as well as in terms of historically, apart from JCI, Sri Lanka and India had been having very close relationship over the years. In our history books, we talk of most of these stories long said between Sri Lanka and India. So, in the history, there are a lot of incidents where we can learn between the relationship of the two nations. And also, even at present, politically and diplomatically and culturally, these two countries share a lot of similarities, mainly because of the culture that we share in common. And having said that, comparing Sri Lanka and India, geographically, India is 63 times bigger than Sri Lanka. And that gives them the leverage on having a lot of diverseness in culture, socially, and as well as when it comes to languages and so on and so forth. Sri Lanka, though it's a very small country, even with the size of just 65,525 square kilometers, most of the provinces, rather the states in India, are larger than our own entire nation. And due to that reason, there has been a lot of influence from India to various things in Sri Lanka: business, diplomats, arts, culture, cinema, music, so many. If I have to name most of the things, most of the industries, and most of the elements that we talk about in community and in various spheres are influenced by Indian relationship. And all in all, there are a lot of things that we can co-learn and mutually benefit. And that is, I think, one of the initiatives that JCI is doing today as a result of, I'm sure, probably few rounds of discussions and few or more, many of you may have given an effort to make this event to come to light. The other critical factor is that owing to this COVID-19 pandemic, we had easy opportunity to connect with each other because we have no room to go meet physically. We cannot travel, but due to technology that is advanced today, we have the option of getting connected to Zoom, where such cultural exchange program is a possibility. So I'm sure this is one such event where it would result in many more other events as well, because we are talking about culture. We can always talk about business and any other topics that we can think of, which has influence between India and Sri Lanka. And I know in person, when it comes to various aspects in society and the world that we live in, you cannot sustain individually. You have to have uh, independency to do it on your own way when it comes to activities. There is always interdependency through another source to get your value addition right. So culture is of no exception. So it is happy that to see junior JCs are getting involved in such an event, in an international event. In Sri Lanka, we don't have a very strong junior JC setup, but we have had uh, few success stories at intervals, but it hasn't been very convincing in terms of their progression. So it is nice to see in our neighboring country they are strong and have come to a level where they deal with the main organization, the main norm to conduct such events, which is a limelight of their exposure to real JCism. And this is something that should happen as well, that you need to have members coming into the organization always. With all that, I think it's a very novel experience, and it is a good time to have it also, because we have more time to think of better ways to move forward. So owing to technology, we have had this opportunity, and it is indeed my pleasure and privilege to have had the opportunity to address let me also take the opportunity to thank my counterpart, National President Senator Anish Matthew, also for joining, and all the office bearers who have got involved and who have had the time to grace this occasion. Thank you very much, and all the very best for the program.
Thank you, sir. It was truly friendship bonding JCI India and JCI Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for your words, sir. Now I call upon Junior JC Nabi Shrimal to introduce our leader and motivator, JCI India National President, JC Anish C. Matthew, sir. Over to you, Nabi.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am really excited for this event. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Today, it is a great honor for me to introduce this impeccable personality. Those of you who know him knows how much he believes in teamwork, and his core belief is that teamwork makes the dream work. He is a man of exemplary character, passion, honesty, and commitment to the community. He joined JCI way back in 2007, and over the years, he has accomplished so much. From being the financial board member of Zone Conference in 2009, he went on to become the LOM Vice President in 2011, 2012, and 2013. But that is just the start of his JCI career. Soon, he went on to become the LOM President in 2014, was awarded the Zone President Excellence Award, has bagged 5 national recognitions as Zone Director in 2016, created historical milestones in various zonal growth targets, has hosted Nalanda 2018, and received the title of Achiever Zone President of JCI India. And under his leadership, the zone has achieved 100% efficient status. But his endeavors don't just end there. He's a business tycoon, a loving family man, and a father with 2 beautiful children. And actively involved in various social activities, he's a leader in all aspects of life and a true team player. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let us please put our hands together for none other than JCI Senator Anish C. Matthew, the National President of JCI 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Nabi. Now we are all eager to hear from our JCI National President his inspiring words. May I request National President JCI India, Anish C. Matthews, sir, to deliver the Chief Guest address.
Thank you, Chairman JC Yashashwini, Zone Director. And thank you, Nabi, for a short and crisp introduction, which is not seen in our website. I was tied up by hearing the regular one. Thank you so much, Nabi. And my very distinguished inaugurator, the National President of JC Sri Lanka, Dr. Dilhan Jayadilake, our National Vice President of JC India, Anshu Sharaf, Sandeep Kumar, Rekha Rathore, past National President TVN Murthy from JCI India, and our beautiful and charismatic ZP, Samadha Miskit. A lot of past EVPs are here, and Kush, Rakhi, and one more I've seen. Okay. And all other dignitaries on the Zoom platform. Very good morning to you all. I'm coming from my own home zone, one program of JCRED's conference in the zone level. So from the morning itself, I've got a lot of energy to being with the beautiful ladies of my own home zone. So I'm again being with the cultural exchange of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a country which I traveled more than 6 times, mostly in the form of transit to my own business purpose in China. So being with there, it was a great, every word I had seen that Ayubuan, that is starting from the airline onwards, we are hearing that. And the way the Sri Lankan people during our transit and everyone was taken care of us like anything. So it's like in our old Ramayana story itself, somewhat a part of India itself. So whatever it may be, it's a part of India in our historical books also. We are the brothers still, but by the borders of different countries that we are separated, and we all believe in the sovereignty of nations, and sense of law. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
My network is saying it's unstable. Okay. So I'm very happy to hear the cultural exchange program, because this is the real product of this pandemic lockdown situations. Otherwise, we will never think of having a cultural exchange program or a business exchange program in an online mode. Everywhere we used to have this in ASPAC or in a World Congress, we will do that. But this really opens up when the challenging situation comes, new opportunities will definitely pick up, and we are the active citizens of a JC members. Like being a JC member, we are picking up the correct opportunity at the right time to explore in different fields of exchange, like business, culturals, education things, among our junior JCs, JSRETs. A lot of things are happening. So I'm very happy, and me and JC Dilhan also, I think we together had shared a platform more than 3 times in different meetings. So in likewise, we are shared with many other countries also. So you took a great opportunity, really congratulating JC Ratan Kataria, who was taken the entire initiative to make this culture. And I've seen the video also, your food habits, your dress things, everything. I think our EVP is ready to exhibit himself as a living example for a cultural exchange. So all the best for you also, and all the best for the beautiful junior JCs who are gathered here to know and to share what you have with you. Wish you all the very best, and experience like anything, because this is the opportunity which we are get because of this pandemic situation. And by knowing this, we are definitely looking forward for a future years in Sri Lanka also. We will definitely looking for a cultural exchange program, not in a virtual mode, but in a physical mode, just like what JCA Japan, that APCC is Asia Pacific Children's Conference is conducting. This year also we got, if the situation was normal, we had a exchange program with Hong Kong as well as Indonesia also. We had a talk and we almost finalized the things, but because of the situation, me and Dilhan became an online NP.
Next slide.
So we are
You know, back.
Asha madam, you have something to comment? Okay, wish you all the very best once again. Thank you so much. Enjoy, keep inspiring like this, because we never experienced such a kind of what to say, this kind of privileges when we are a junior JC. I never been heard of a JC. I know about JC from of my 8th standard onwards, but didn't show an interest or didn't get an opportunity to be with this organization at my very younger age. Otherwise, my situation will be different in either ways. So this opportunity, what the JC's people which are giving to the junior JC, it's a great opportunity. You have to explore it, you have to utilize it, you have to understand the different opportunities available in the world in the sort of disease. One thing I can touch my heart and tell you, this is an organization which can trust any of the people, and you can move around with 100% confidence and security. With all the many of our ladies also, they travel for World Congress and ASPAC. Everyone was safe, and even our children. So past many years, we are traveling to Japan for APCC. Everything is safe. So this is a new world. Explore it, and being a leader of not only JC India, the leader of entire world. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you for your wonderful address, sir. You're always been a great inspiration for all of us. Thank you. Now, I adjourn the inaugural program of Cultural Exchange Program JCI India and JCI Sri Lanka, hosted by Bangalore Cosmo, for the cultural program. Now over to JC Asha, Long President, JCI Mysore Royal City, and JC Ratan Kataria, Long President, JCI Bangalore Cosmo, for the Cultural Exchange Program proceedings. Over to Asha.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I am JC Asha Jain, having the great privilege to moderate today's event along with JC Ratan Kataria. Junior JCs of two great nations, India and Sri Lanka, are here to expand our universal consciousness. So, my dear friends, let us open the window reflecting the history, culture, and spiritual world of India. As it is said, marriages are made in heaven. In India, marriages are held in different ways. Junior JCs from JCI Bangalore Garden City are showing one of the North Indian state marriage and South Indian style marriage. So here we go.
ಮದರಂಗಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ರಂಗು ಮೂಡಿದೆ ಮದರಂಗಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ರಂಗು ಮೂಡಿದೆ ಬಾಸಿಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನಸಿನ ಮುತ್ತು ತೂಗಿದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಕುಣಿಯೋಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ನಲಿಯೋಣ ಶುಭ ಕೋರಿ ಉಲ್ಲಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ದಿನ
ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ರಂಗು ಮೂಡಿದೆ ಬಾಸಿಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನಸಿನ ಮುತ್ತು ತೂಗಿದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಕುಣಿಯೋಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ನಲಿಯೋಣ ಶುಭ ಕೋರಿ ಉಲ್ಲಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದಿನ ಬಾಳ ದಾರಿಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಜೋಡಿ ಹೊರಟಿದೆ ಜೊತೆಗೂಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ತಳಿರು ತೋರಣ ಮದರಂಗಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ರಂಗು ಮೂಡಿದೆ ಬಾಸಿಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನಸಿನ ಮುತ್ತು ತೂಗಿದೆ ಆಟದ ಬಯಲಿನ ಆಟವ ತೊರೆದು ನೂತನ ಪುಟವನ್ನು ತೆರೆಯುವ ಸಮಯ
ಕಲಶದ ಕನ್ನಡಿ ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತಲಿರಲು ಮಮತೆಯ ಧಾರೆಯ ಎರೆಯುವ ಸಮಯ
ಹಿರಿಯರ ಹೃದಯವು ಹನಿಯುವ ಸಮಯ
ಹರಿಯದ ಕಂಗಳು ಅರಳುವ ಸಮಯ
ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿರಲು ಮಾಲೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಣ ತೆರೆಯೊಂದು ಸರಿದಾಗ ಸಂಜೀವನ
ಅಕ್ಷತೆಯು ಈಗ ನಾಚುತ್ತ ಕೆಂಪಗಾಗಿದೆ ಮದರಂಗಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ರಂಗು ಮೂಡಿದೆ जाते हैं जब दो दिल धड़कते रंग जाए सिंदूरी रंग में रंग जाए ओ हम भी ऐसे रंग जाए गौरी मैया जैसे रंगी है शिव जी के रंग में ओ हम भी ऐसे रंग जाए हमने जो सपने बुने हैं आँखों में जो सजे हैं पूरे हो जाए पूरे हो जाए मेंदिरा चढ़ला के हाथा में बनने दे नाम दी आई शुभ घड़ी देखो मारे आंगन आज दी आई शुभ घड़ी देखो मारे आंगन आज दी कन्हैया रास रचैया राधा ना जाए रे अब सावरा ना भाए रे पंखट पे आके सैया मरुड़ भैया and everybody plays it on raga छेड़े है हमका नैया गरी कन्हैया and everybody plays it on raga होगा वो लाखों दिल का चोर हमका तो लागे बोर हुआ है ऐसी बावला जो कहता जाए दिन शागना दा चढ़े आओ सखियों नी वेड़ा सजया हाँ मेरा सजना मेरे आ सजना मिलन वधाइया नी सजन डोली लेके आना नी मेरा सजना टोलना वे रंजन माही टोलना वे हीर जोगनी टोलना तू मेरा नसीबा टोलना मैं जुगनी तेरी टोलना जा देखो दिल करो मुड़ के ना देखो दिल करो मुड़ के ना देखो दिल करो
Wow, that was an amazing culture of Indian marriages. A nation's art resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people. It's a sad news as 2 days ago, our nation had lost a great singer, Sri S.P. Balasubramaniam, a huge loss to all of us. May his soul rest in peace, a tribute to the great legend. Junior JCs from Bangalore Horizon presenting various art and dance forms. Here we go.
अनंत प्रीत के सर पे ओढ़ कर घूमर घूमर घूमे ललक रीत सब जग के छोड़ कर घूमर घूमर घूमे भर के ढोला वाले ठाण पे घूमर 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 घूमे
ಈ ಭೂಮಿ ಬಣ್ಣದ ಬುಗುರಿ ಆ ಶಿವನೇ ಚಾಟಿ ಕಣೋ ಈ ಬಾಳು ಸುಂದರ ನಗರಿ ನೀನಿವರ ಬೇಟಿ ಕಣೋ.
Namaste everyone. Today I'm going to talk about North Indian dance forms. The first North Indian dance form is Kathak. Kathak is one of the major dance forms of Indian classical dance. The term Kathak is derived from the Sanskrit word Katha, which means story. Bihu dance. Bihu dance is the folk dance from the state Assam. Bihu dance takes place during the Bohag Bihu festival, which is the state festival of Assam and the Assamese New Year. The Garba dance. Garba is a form of dance which originates from the state Gujarat. The name is derived from the Sanskrit term Garba, which means womb. Ghumar. Ghumar is a traditional folk dance of Rajasthan. It is performed to worship goddess Saraswati. Thank you.
North Indian music. About music in India. May it be marriages, festivals, or any other ceremonies, music, songs, hymns, and bhajans have always been an integral part of Indian culture. Hindustani music. It is the classical music of our nation, mainly found in the northern part of the Indian subcontinent, where Indo-Aryan languages like Hindi and Urdu are spoken. Northern musical instruments. In Hindustani classical, vocals are given importance, but music and musical instruments are given a higher position. A few of the major instruments of the North Indian music are Shehnai, sitar, and tabla. Shehnai is a wind instrument in which you open and close holes while blowing into it to produce many melodious sounds. Sitar is a stringed instrument. It is played like a guitar, but it is not a guitar. Tabla is a membrane instrument. You tap on the membrane to produce many melodious sounds. Other music of North India, Punjabi music, the seven notes of the seven sisters, which is Northeastern music, Qawwalis, which is prominent in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, and the Dhol Tashas of Maharashtra. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you about South Indian dance forms, classical and folk. So first we have Karnataka. The prominent folk dances of Karnataka are Yakshagana and Dollu Kunita. Bhuta Aradhane, Kamsale, Bollakat and Puja Kunita are other art forms of Karnataka. As you can see, extravagant makeup plays a major role in South Indian dance forms. In Maharashtra, we have Dindi, Koli and Lavani. You can see the explicit use of colors in their costume, which enhances their performances. Now we have Kerala, God's own country. Mohiniyattam dance gets its name from the word Mohini, a historical enchantress avatar of Hindu god Vishnu, who helped the good prevail over the evil by developing her feminine powers. Kathakali, Tiruvattirikali, and Teyyam are other art forms. Teyyam is a Dravidian art form and a sacred ritual performed for the goddess Kali. And now, next up is Andhra Pradesh. Vilasini Natyam, Andhra Natyam, and Kolatam are few of the dance forms of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Natyam especially is a classical dance form that originated from the Indian states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Veeranatyam is found in the Hindu mythology. Once Lord Shiva's wife Sati Devi was humiliated at a function. This made Shiva, the god of destruction, furious. He believed that to have portrayed out his anger by performing a vigorous dance, thus justifying the name Veeranatyam. You can see the inclusion of spiritual and mythological scriptures in our Indian classical and folk dances. Next up is Tamil Nadu. Bharatanatyam has been a solo dance performance that has performed exclusively by women and expressed South Indian religious themes and spiritual ideas, particularly of Shaivism. Bommalatam, a puppet show, and Karagatam, Mailatam, Kavadiyatam are other few dance forms. You can also see the inclusion of the animals like the peacock in Mailatam and the tiger in Puyilatam. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. I'm here to speak about a division of Indian art forms, which is Carnatic music, also called as South Indian music. Carnatic music. Carnatic music is a system of music commonly associated with southern India, including the modern Indian states of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, as well as Sri Lanka. It is one of the two main subgenres of Indian classical music that evolved from ancient Hindu traditions. Origin of Carnatic music. Indian classical music is believed to be a divine art form which originated from Devas and Devis, Hindu gods and goddesses, and is venerated as a symbolic of Nada Brahmana. Ancient treatises also describe the connection of the origin of swaras or notes to the sounds of animals and birds, and man's effort to stimulate these sounds through a keen sense of observation and perception. Treatise of Carnatic music. Purandaradasa is referred to as the Pitamaha, the father or grandfather of Carnatic music because of his greater works. There are other contemporaries like Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitaru, and Syama Sastri, who are also regarded as the trinities of Carnatic music. Thank you everyone, and Jai Hind.
Alas, I'm astonished. It was a mind-blowing presentation. Over to JC Ratan Kataria.
1 second. I would like to recognize the presence of immediate past National President Sirish Dundu sir. Welcome you, sir. Over to Ratan.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Ashaji. I think it was a wonderful marriage and art forms videos. I hope everyone enjoyed it. India celebrates many festivals. The greatness of a culture can be found in its festivals. We have the junior JCs of JCI Bangalore Cosmo presenting few prominent festivals of South and North India. Welcome to the celebration of Krishna Janmashtami. Krishna Lilotsava, popularly known as Vittala Pindi. Sri Krishna Mutt, situated at Udupi, is the center of attraction for this popular event. Every year, lakhs of people gather to see this festival. About 800 years ago, Sri Madhvacharya, the exponent of Dvaitya philosophy, installed a Krishna idol here. We will now give you a glimpse of as how to the festival is celebrated here. The temple streets and every house is decorated as a bride. The Muddu Krishna compilation, wherein the children are dressed up like Balakrishna, is one of the major attractions. The carrying of clay idol of Krishna in the golden chariot is another crowd-pulling attraction of Vittala Pindi. Wooden gopuras will be erected at different places on the streets, and earthen pots containing milk, curd, and milk products will be hung from those gopuras. People dressed in folk costumes try to break these pots and sticks with climbing on each other, and this is known as Mosaru Kudike in Kannada. After the golden chariot reaches the Sri Krishna Mutt, the idol is removed and immersed in the Madhva Sarovara. Devotees have Anna Santarpane, and there is a dance performance from the various Sulivesha groups, which is famous as Tiger Dance. Udupi is a holy town famous for its Lord Krishna temple. It is a popular pilgrimage center in Karnataka. Even before the establishment of Sri Krishna Mutt over there, the legends take us back to the time of Madhvacharya's visit to Udupi, and according to some myths, the Balakrishna idol installed here in this temple is coming straight from Dwarka. Come, let's experience this visual delight of Krishna Janmashtami first. Here we go.
गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंदा गोकुल पालक परमानंदा गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंदा गोकुल पालक परमानंदा गोवर्धन गिरिधर
Now I would request to show the festivals celebrated by our junior JCs of JCI Bangalore Cosmo. Here we go.
Hello everyone, I am Junior JC Khushi from JCI Mangalore Cosmo. I am going to tell you about the Festival of Lights, Diwali. Diwali celebrates the victory of good over evil and light over darkness. Diwali is celebrated on the new moon's night on the month of Kartik. In ancient times, Diwali was an important harvest festival. Most of us associate the Festival of Lights with the return of Lord Ram to Ayodhya after 14 years of exile. There are, however, many other stories that are associated with the festival. The birthday of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, is celebrated in many parts of India on the day of Diwali. In Bengal, devotees worship Kali, the goddess associated with Shakti, on the day of Diwali. Another story that coincides with the celebration of Diwali is the return of the Pandavas after their 13 years of exile on the new moon's night of Kartik month. People celebrated their return by lighting lamps and bursting crackers. It is said that Vikramaditya, the great king, was coronated on the day of Diwali. Mahavir Tirthankar, the founder of Jainism, is believed to have attained nirvana on the day of Diwali, making it a significant occasion for the Jains as well. The festival of Diwali is often also associated with gambling. It is believed that Lady Parvati played dice with her husband Shiva on the day of Diwali. People believe that gambling in Diwali brings them prosperity. All these beliefs together make Diwali the festival of joy, victory, prosperity, and wealth. Thank you.
Forgiveness, non-violence, and friendship are the main values of Paryushan. India is a place of diverse culture and traditions. Home to many religions, India is also the birthplace of Jainism, which is known as the most peaceful religion in the world. While we have many festivals in Jainism, Paryushan is known as the king of all festivals for the whole Jain community, which is celebrated for 8 days during the months of August and September. We can easily understand the meaning of Paryushan by dividing it into two parts. First, Pari, which means to rediscover yourself, and Vasan means at a place. So overall, it means to discover yourself in your spirit. Every Jain celebrates Paryushan for a chance for deep introspection and self-analysis. It's also a time to remind ourselves that life's main aim is not the pursuit of materialism, but to attain the state of nirvana. This festival is based on some of the most important values like right conduct, right knowledge, and right faith. It is based on Lord Mahavir's teachings of live and let live. Unlike other festivals, Paryushan is not a festival where we rejoice and celebrate. Instead, it is a time where we all focus on self-discipline. During the 8 days of Paryushan, we try our best to live in the utmost simplicity and try to purify everything from our food to our clothes, our thoughts, and our actions. Many devotees fast according to their capacity, which could include eating only once in a day, only eating twice, or fasting for the entire day. All of this is done to purify the mind, body, and soul. On the last day of Paryushan, we all come together to ask for forgiveness if we have hurt any living being intentionally or unintentionally. We do this by saying Michami Dukkaram, which means to forgive us for our thoughts, actions, or words that may have hurt you. Michami Dukkaram, Michami Dukkaram. If I have hurt you intentionally or unintentionally, please forgive me.
Michami Dukadam, Michami Dukadam, Michami Dukadam, Michami Dukadam.
Hi everyone, this is JC Junior Krish Raja from JCI Colombo, Bangalore. Today I am going to speak on Holi. One day before Holi, people conduct a ritual called Holika Dahan. In this ritual, people pile heaps of wood in public area to burn it. It symbolizes the burning of evil powers, revising the story of Holika and King Hiranyakashipu. Furthermore, they gather around the Holika to seek blessings and offer the devotion to God. The next day is probably the most colorful day in India. People get up in the morning and offer puja to God. Then they dress up in white clothes and play with colors. They splash water on one another. Children run around splashing water colors using water guns. Similarly, even adults become children on this day. They rub color on each other's face and immerse themselves in water. Children and young people form groups armed with dry colors, colored solution and water guns, pitchkari, water balloons filled with colored water, and other creative means to color their target. Holi is also known as the Festival of Colors and is celebrated in the month of March every year. Now let's celebrate Holi. Hello friends, my name is Junior JC Kritish Kulecha and I'm from JCI Bangalore Colombo. Navratri in Sanskrit means 9 nights. It is a major festival in Hinduism held in honor of the divine feminine. Navratri is celebrated differently in India's various regions. For many people, it is a time of religious reflection and fasting, or others, it is a time for dancing and feasting. Dances performed includes Garba and Dandiya in Gujarat. First, the day of the festival focuses on aspect of the goddess Durga. The second third on the goddess Lakshmi, and the final third on the goddess Saraswati. Offerings are often made to the goddess and their various aspects and rituals are performed in their honor. It often ends with Dashera. In the northern state of India, the festival is Navratri that celebrates goddess Durga battle and emerges victories over buffalo demons. In the northern and western state, the festival is Ram Leela and Dashera that celebrates the battle and victory of Lord Rama over the demon king Ravana. In other states, the victory of different goddess of Rama or Saraswati is celebrated. In all cases, the common theme is the battle and victory of good over evil. Let's celebrate Navratri.
Ratan sir, over to you.
I think we still have a few more festivals to be celebrated. Requesting the host to show those videos. Thank you.
No, sir, this is the last. Continue.
Okay. So I think we had an excellent session of festivals. So can you guess what is coming next? It's yummy. Can somebody guess what's yummy? Yes, you guessed it right. It's our traditional Indian food. So we have our junior JCs from JCI Mudikere who will be presenting the lip-smacking and mouth-watering Indian foods. Here we go.
Hello everyone, I am Pratana Nagesh from JCI Mudikere, Zone 14. Today I am here with the famous South Indian foods. There are typically vegetarian and non-vegetarian dishes for all 5 states. Additionally, all regions have typical main dishes, snacks, light meals, desserts and drinks that are well known in their respective region. Karnataka has a very diverse cuisines. Some of the most traditional South breakfast preparations like idli, vada and masala dosa. Rotis are made up of rice and rice flour. We can eat it with chutney along with side dishes. You can take delight in Udupi, Malnad, Mangaluru, Kodagu, North and South Karnataka dishes, which are worth realizing. The North Karnataka cuisines include something like Jodad roti. These rotis are enjoyed with spicy and mouth-watering curries, namely Badanekai Palya, and it is also famous in Uttar Karnataka. In Karnataka, they served Baladele Uta, which contains idli, vada, rice sambar, dosa, kesribath, chutney, kadbu, sevge, vegetable sides at the end. They have Baladele mixture. In Koragi, rice-based preparations like kadambatu, steamed rice dumplings, and rice rotis. Karnataka cuisines includes a wide variety of sweets: Belagavi Kunda, Mysore Pak, Holige, Dharwad Peda, and all most popular sweets. Some typically breakfast dishes include masala dosa, ragi roti, akki roti, wangi bath, tomato bath, and upma. Lunch items include tili sambar, rasam, gojju, rice, bisibele bath, kosumbri, masru gojju. Snacks items include kodbale, chakuli, nippattu, goli bhaji. Children enjoy tangy term chingari. Churmuri or mandaki are popular snacks for evening. So I am saying that once you try this, stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Junior JC Sakshi. I am going to present before you the food style of the South Indian state Kerala. Kerala is well known for its natural beauty as well as Kerala food is always fresh and flavored. The cuisine of Kerala offers a multitude of both vegetarian and non-vegetarian dishes prepared using fish, poultry, and red meat with rice, a typical accompaniment. Chilies, curry leaves, coconut, mustard seeds, turmeric, tamarind, and asafoetida are all frequently used. Kerala is also known as land of spices. The food of Kerala is added with coconut stuff and coconut oil. Generally, the Kerala food items is served to the guests on a banana leaf. Sadi is one of the important recipes of native Keralians. Kottu curry, tangy rasam are the famous dishes. Banana chips are very famous here. Parsam is an item of Kerala special sweets. Tapiko, fish curry, kappa and meal curries are other delicious non-vegetarian dishes. Idiyappam with curry, irseri, parippu curry, dosa ghee roast with Kerala style sambar, Nadan kozi vruttu, Kerala style prawn curry, kari meal, poli chattu, Kerala style fish moli, Nadan beef. Talaseri, biryani, Malabhar parotha are the most exotic Kerala cuisine. Kerala is home to numerous lip-smacking and mouth-watering dishes. Thank you.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Shravya. Today I'll tell you about North Indian style food. First, I'll tell you of North Indian states. North Indian states include Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi, Bihar, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Chhattisgarh, etc. So, some famous food of North India is dal bad kurma, mixed dal, gulab jamun, biryani, chicken tandoori and chicken butter, pin, Kashmir pulav, and etc. Dal bad kurma is the famous food of Rajasthan. Chicken tandoori and chicken butter is the famous food of Punjab. To make chicken butter, we use butter. For the to make chicken tandoori, we use roasted chicken. Kashmiri pulav is the famous food of Jammu and Kashmir. To make Kashmiri pulav, we use some rice, dry fruits, and pin. Pin is the famous sweet of Punjab. To make pin, we use some dry fruits and rava. Mixed dal. Mixed dal is the famous food of Haryana, and we use to make mixed dal is some batanis like that. And gulab jamun. Gulab jamun is the famous food of Delhi, and biryani is also a famous food of Delhi. To make gulab jamun, we use some dry fruits. Thank you, JCI India, to give me this wonderful opportunity to talk about North Indian style food. Thank you so much.
Hello everybody, myself Aniketana, the Secretary of Junior JC Mudigere. Today I am talking about North Indian foods. Poha. Poha is famous in Madhya Pradesh from Maharashtra. Poha recipe is made in different ways. Corn poha, poha cutlet, bhature. It is famous in Uttar Pradesh. The food originated in north regions of India subcontinents, mainly in Dal kachori, popular in Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab. Most popular filling consists of yellow moong dal, besan flour, pepper, chili, and onion. Like it's called kheer in Hindi, paisa in Kannada, and paisam in Tamil. It's a type of dessert and it's also used in traditional functions. It is made by milk and sugar. Aloo parota. Parota is also a major dish in North India. There is a types in parota like aloo parota, naan butter parota, etc. Paneer masala. It is a side dish of curry. It can be used by parota, rice, chapati, etc. As a side dish, it is made by using paneer, which is made by milk. Dal makhani. It's also called as queen of North India. It is made of black whole urad dal. It is originally from samosa. Samosa is popular snack from Central Asia. It is most used while traveling and it is also famous snacks in North India. It can be fried or baked and has outer crust made of plain Pani Puri or Golgappa. It is also called as Gupchup in North. It is also India's most common street food. It consists of a round or ball-shaped hollow puri filled with mixture of flavored water, tamarind chutney, chili, chaat masala, and potato, chickpeas or onion.
I'm a JCI Rani Chandrasekhar from JCI Mudigere Zone 14. Today I'm talking a few words about the Western Indian food. Let us know the importance of that.
Modaka is an Indian sweet dumpling believed to have originated in the state of Maharashtra. In India, modaka is prepared in a variety of ways and it is known under various names. Depending on the region, it is also referred to as Matagam or Kuzukata in Tamil, Modaka or Kadubu in Kannada or Kudumu in Telugu. The ingredients, preparation and cooking methods also depend on regional difference. However, the most common variety is called Ukadiche Modaka, the steamed variety made with rice flour and filled with a sweet combination of grated coconut and jaggery. A traditional Maharashtra dish, Zunka Bakri, is a sabzi made with chickpea or besan flour. It is a flavor mixed with red chili, curry leaves, and turmeric, stirred in water together and cooked with mustard seeds, cumin seeds, ginger, garlic, and chilies. Zunka Bakri is popularly prepared as a side dish is accompaniment to bajra roti.
Watching my videos and listening my words.
Yummy, wasn't it? I guess after seeing all this delicious food, you would have loved to have it. I am not able to resist myself. Next, clothes make a statement and costumes tell a story. So we have our junior jerseys from JCI Mysore Royal City presenting the various colorful costumes of all the various Indian states. So are you ready? Here we go.
Hello everybody, a very good morning to one and all. This is Junior JC Aarti Bohra, the Junior JC Chairperson of JCI Mysore Royal City, addressing you all regarding our topic of costumes.
Clothing in India is dependent upon different ethnicity, geography, climate, and cultural traditions of people of each region of India. Historically, male and female clothing has evolved from simple garments like langota, dhoti, lungi, sari, gamcha, and loincloths to cover the body and protect themselves. All these turned out into complex and detailed costumes, not only for daily wear, but also on festive occasions as well as rituals and dance performances. Dressing up nicely on an occasion has also been a part of this celebration in time immemorial. Even though we follow different traditions, when it comes to nation or nationality, we all stand as one as Indians. India is widely known as the cultural hub of the world. So here we are with some representation videos showcasing different cultural costumes of some specific regions like Jammu and Kashmir and Karnataka by Junior JC Sakshi Jain and Junior JC Neil Jain, Goa and Punjab by Junior JC Aarti Bohra and Junior JC Nehal Jain, Gujarat and Kerala by Junior JC Ritik Pagaria and Junior JC Anish Jain, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh by Junior JC Sahasra Jain and Junior JC Stuti Jain, Rajasthan and Arunachal Pradesh by Junior JC Aarti Jain and Junior JC Kavish Jain. So here are the above representations in the following video.
Kushamali, we are from a beautiful state. Guess which? Yes, right, Jammu and Kashmir. Costumes of Jammu and Kashmir have exceptional embroidery work. Ferran is popular amongst men. Hindu put on churidar with Ferran, while Muslims wear salwar. Pathani suit is worn in Srinagar. Pashmina shawl is very famous, so women look very amazing.
Similarly, like men, Ferran is the most common outfit among women. Hindu women wear long Ferran. It is wrapped by a cloth called lungi. A red color headgear is put on the head called kasaba. Kashmiri silver ornaments are unique. Beauty of Kashmir cannot be compared by the whole world. If there is heaven on earth, it is here, it is here, it is here.
Punjab contains one of the richest cultures in the world. Punjabis wear fulkari and footwear popularly known as jutti. Pajama is a long piece worn by the men. Punjabi paranda is also very famous. Parandi, kurta pajama, turban, tehmat are the various costumes worn by Punjabis. Patiala salwar is followed up with Punjabi beauties. Punjabi Gagra adds richness to the femininity of Punjab. मैं पंजाब दी कुड़ी मैं पंजाब दा मुंडा ओ सरदार जी तुसी जच रहे हो ओ सोनिए तुसी जच रहे हो ओ बल्ले बल्ले ओ शाबा शाबा ओ बल्ले बल्ले ओ शाबा शाबा तुसी भी आना जी पंजाब
Ramsa, Khamma Garifa, Rajasthan Ayasa.
Rajasthan costumes are very attractive. The Rajasthani traditional costumes are very colorful. Dhoti is mainly worn by Rajasthani men. Men also wear a bright colored turban. The turban seems in various colors. It is also called as safa and lehriya.
Women of Rajasthan wear mainly ghagra choli and odhni dresses. These costumes are in bright colors. Ghagras are also called as waist and lehriya. Married women wear chuda in hand, nut in nose and heavy jewelry.
Khamma Garifa. Namaste, we are from Uttar Pradesh. The traditional dress for women in Uttar Pradesh is sari and blouse. The traditional dress for men in Uttar Pradesh is dhoti and kurta. In Uttar Pradesh, women like to wear beautiful jewelries, mantika, bindi and bangles. They also like to wear necklaces called navlakka. There is a folk song called Navlakka. Mujhe navlakka manga de re. Come, let's visit Uttar Pradesh. Hello, how are you? We are from Arunachal Pradesh.
The costumes of Arunachal Pradesh are very spectacular. People wear different types of costumes. People of Kansa tribe adorn the costume style of Burmese. Men wear lungi with yarn.
Women put on eye-catching woven petticoat with a beautiful linen blouse. Accessories are compulsory for girls and women in most of the tribes in Arunachal Pradesh. Monpa women beautify themselves with earrings, silver rings, bamboo bits, red beads, and attractive turquoises. The outfit looks really astonishing and attracts others.
Thank you.
धड़ाक आजा उड़ के सराट पैरों से बीड़ी जरा खोल नगाड़े संग ढोल बाजे ढोल बाजे धाय धाय धम धम धाम.
Jai Shri Krishna. Keep show Majama. We are here to present before you the costume of our state, Gujarat. The men of Gujarat dress themselves in kurta and dhoti, and the women look beautiful in ghagra choli with odhni. Dresses of our state is more colorful and festive. Our state is also famous for bandage and kutch design. We usually wear traditional clothes during weddings and Navratri. Thank you.
Suswagatam. We are from Maharashtra. Maharashtrian men usually wear cotton tops. They also wear kurta above their dhotis. Cotton tops make them warm in winter season and they make cool and comfortable in summer season. They also wear topis. Nawal. It is said that during Maratha rule, women were interested to help their fellow male warriors to facilitate easy movement. Maharashtrian women introduced the Nawari sari. Maharashtrian women wear this beautiful learn, kumkuma, and fire. Pinga gakori pinga gakori pinga gakori pinga. Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji, Jai Maharashtra.
Hello, hi. We are from Goa. Goa's traditional costumes are a mixture of various costumes. People here wear according to its tropical climate. So here we present Goa. Goa is cool with its costumes. So come on everybody, let's go to Goa and chill.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕವು ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ. Men follow strict dress code to be connected to their culture. The traditional code for men is panche. It is worn under the waist below a shirt. Mysuru peta is a headwear for men. To cover the shoulder, men take over angavastram. Costumes of Karnataka show the harmony and modernity and culture of the people living in the South Indian state. The costume for women in Karnataka is sari. It is made of silk and silk saris are very famous not only in Karnataka but the entire country. Kanchivaram silk sari are very famous. Women love to wear glass bangles, put bindi, put dab around their waist and flowers on their head. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
எந்த மேட சுமக்கி கமல் எந்த பெண் கட்டோடு போயே எந்த எந்தம்மா குடிச்சு எந்த மேட சுமக்கி கமல் எந்த பெண் கட்டோடு போயே எந்த எந்தம்மா குடிச்சு
Namaskaram. Nigalika Sugam Anu. We are from Kerala state, which is famous for its scenic beauty. People here are very simple. White is the favorite because it stands for purity, simplicity and elegance. Men of our state wear kalki mundu and shirt, and women wear white sari with golden border, which enhances their elegance and beauty. You usually wear traditional dress in festival and marriages. Thank you.
Wow, that was a wonderful presentation from the junior JCs of Mysore Royal City. Wouldn't we all love to take all these costumes home? To continue more, we have a festival of love, which is between brothers and sisters. So would you all love to see this festival? Here we go.
Hello everybody, I'm Junior JC Dhruvi Kataria from JCI Bangalore Cosmo Zone 14. Today I'll show you how Raksha Bandhan is celebrated in India. In this festival, a sister ties Rakhi to her brother, and in return the brother promises the sister to always protect her. Raksha Bandhan or Rakhi, traditionally Hindu festival or ceremony celebrated on Purnima of Shravan Masa. So these are the things which we use to celebrate the festival. This is kumkum. This is jaggery or gur. You should take some grains of rice, a rakhi, and a diya or a lamp.
सबका कहना है एक हजारों में मेरी बहना है
सारी उम्र हमें संग रहना है। फूलों का तारों का सबका कहना है, एक हजारों में तेरी बहना है, सारी उम्र हमें संग रहना।
After tying Rakhi, the brothers and sisters both exchange gifts, and in some regions of India, the sisters also fast for their brother's long life. When Rani Karnavati, the widowed queen of King of Chittor, realized that she couldn't defend the battle against the invasion of Sultan of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah, she sent a Rakhi to Emperor Humayun, and after receiving the Rakhi, Humayun with his troops came to Chittor to defend it. Hopefully you like this festival of Rakhi celebrated by brothers and sisters. Thank you. Happy Raksha Bandhan.
Wow, that was wonderful. And Rakhi is one of my favorite festivals. See, I don't remove my Rakhis from 2 months, and I love this festival. And now the major festival of Karnataka. Are you all ready to hear the story of Dasara? So let's play the video of Dasara. Over to you. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Preksha Jain from JCI Cosmo. Dashera. Dashera is a festival that marks the victory of good over evil. In Mysore, it is celebrated for a span of 10 days. The festival's origin dates back to 15th century and was initiated by the kings of Vijayanagar kingdom. The festival celebrates the victory of goddess Chamundeshwari, who killed the demon Mahishasura on the day of Vijayadashmi, the 10th day of Dashera. The traditional procession of the festival includes the Jumbo Savari, a parade of beautifully adorned elements that carry the idol of goddess Chamundeshwari. These elephants are accompanied by dance, music, and folklore. This torchlight parade, known as Panjina Kavaitu, starts from Mysore Palace and ends at Bani Mantap. Other festivities include the exhibition opposite to the Mysore Palace, concerts, and the Kusti Spardhe or the wrestling bout. The main attraction of the festival is the Mysore Palace, which is illuminated with 100,000 bulbs daily in the evening, and the special darbar where the royal sword is worshipped. The festival, therefore, is also a celebration of the warriors and the state.
Wow, that was a wonderful festival, and all the junior JCs of Zone 14 have done a tremendous job to put this show together. And I would love to give my hand over it to our beautiful co-host Asha ji. It's over to you.
Amazing performances. It was just mind blowing. You all would have enjoyed the spectacular traditional and cultural performances of different states of India. Let us all together deeply feel the essence of Indian culture. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Bolo Bharat Mata Ki.
Jai.
Over to the chairperson, JC Yashaswini Madam.
Thank you, Ratan, and thank you, Asha. What a wonderful performance. Hope everyone is enjoying. Then it's time to know the rich culture of Sri Lanka. Over to JC Tariq Nazir sir, President Long, JCI Colombo. Over to Tariq Nazir sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry. The host had to unmute me. That's why it took a little time.
No problem. No problem.
Well, it was a wonderful lineup of, lineup of events and videos that we just saw. I mean, definitely it was a visual treat. Still, and then even our lineup of things that we have today are mostly overlapping, because most of our festivals or weddings are influenced by Indian culture. So I'll just give a small brief on how it's going to work. Our presentation today will line up of 4 items. We will actually start with the food, and then the festivals, marriages, and then it will end with the art forms that we have. So I'll just share my screen right now. Just give me a few minutes. Can you see my screen, everybody?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. I'll start with the Aibawan, the usual way of greeting in Sri Lanka. May you have the gift of long life. This is the way, I mean, whenever we meet somebody, we will actually greet them by saying Aibawan, like you all use Namaste in India. So it's just a little bit some pictures of our beautiful country, with rich heritage and culture, and also some beautiful landscapes. And as you can see in this picture, Sri Lanka is very popularly known for its Ceylon tea. So we have one of the best in the world. So this is the table of content. First, I will do the introduction of my country, and then a slight introduction for the benefit of the larger audience here, the Indian JCs. And then we'll talk about the Sri Lankan food, and then marriages, the festivals, and finally the cultural part of it, basically the dance. And our presentation will not be a very lengthy one. However, that is the main reason why we wanted to have it a little smaller, is because most of it is overlapping and it comes from Indian culture itself. So first I'll talk about our Sri Lankan flag. You would have already seen, you might, if you are thinking why there is so much colors. Every culture actually depicts something. Uh, if you take our four bow leaves that are pointed in the corners, they also represent something. And the colors, green and also the orange, that represent the Muslims as well as the Hindus, and the lion. Actually, lion represents, with the sword represents the Sinhalese culture, basically. So here's a map of our country. It is actually like our national president very well said. We are very small, much smaller than even your state, even some of your state. But then we have a, almost every climate that is there. We have snow in certain areas, and then although it's a smaller country, still all these are there. As you can see in the picture here, Sri Lanka is popularly known for its best coastal beaches, and also the cultural triangle, which is on the top part of on the right, Anuradhapura, Sigiriya, Polonnaruwa. That's the cultural triangle. And then as you can see, the rest of the areas I have marked here just for the benefit, and what they are popular for. So here it's a little bit about our ethnic groups, and in the population, what's the percentage they represent, and the religion wise breakdown. Sinhalese, they are the major ethnic group. They represent 73.8%. Sri Lankan Tamils, they represent 13.9%. Sri Lankan Moors represent 7.2. Indian Tamil 4.6. And also our indigenous Vedas also represent, it's like very small percentage. They are the indigenous people, like these Aborigines in Australia. Vedas are the indigenous people here in Sri Lanka. They represent 0.5% of the population. And religion-wise breakdown, like I said again, Sinhalese there. Buddhism is the mainly practiced language with 69.1%. Islam is 7.6, Hinduism 7.1, Christianity is 6.2, and other unspecified. These are like 10%. Comes to that particular category. And a little bit about history. Like I said, Sri Lankan and Indian culture is very closely bonded together. Most of our our civilization started with the coming of Prince Vijay to Sri Lanka and marrying Queen here. And also the Ramayana history also talks about ties of Sri Lanka and India. Uh, that's on your left. On your right, it talks about how Sri Lanka been over time been ruled by different empires. After the prince came, it's somewhere around, I think, in 543 543 BC. That's when rather Sri Lankan Sinhalese kings ruled. That is from when they started ruling the country, and then the Dutch, the Portuguese, then the Dutch and the British. And in 1948, we actually got independence after so many years of struggle. So this is just a little bit about our country for the benefit of everybody.
Tariq sir, there is some disturbance noise coming from the background. I think it is from your side, right?
I'm sorry. Okay, let me check. Is it better now? Is it better now?
Yes, kind of, yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Can you still see my screen?
Screen is not visible right now. You can just reshare it. Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay. Right. Now, to talk about the Sri Lankan food, now I hand over the proceedings to Shamshad Nizam, who will actually talk about the food aspects, which are again is something that you see on the background or something it's already there in India. So he will talk about it. Over to you, Shamshad Nizam.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I'm JC Shamshad Nizam, treasurer for JCI Colombo chapter. So I hope everyone's doing great. It was indeed a wonderful presentation presented by you guys, and I'm really glad that I have to be here with you guys. So without taking much time, I'll move on to the slides. So as you can see on the slide, first I'm going to talk about the Sri Lankan food routes, how it came up. So Sri Lanka is a country rich in spices. While its formally recorded history began over 2,500 years ago, it was in the 16th century that Ceylon, as it was then known, was discovered by the Portuguese. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. So trading cinnamon and other spices were soon thriving. The Dutch and British followed, bringing them with their own history and influences, and establishing a strong presence in the island in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan food is an expression of the country's rich history, and it's full of delightful surprises, just like the island itself, characterized by vibrant colors and fragrant aromas. Every dish, from main meals to desserts and cakes, makes use of the country's bounty of fresh spices. An ordinary Sinhalese curry, for example, can contain up to 13 herbs and spices like chilies, curry leaves, ginger, lemongrass, lime. So, I mean, India and Sri Lanka has like a similar standard, I guess. So everyone is uses the same kind of ingredients to your foods and to our foods. So uh, our usual meal preparation is divided into 3 sections, like all of you do. So Sri Lankan food includes a lot of naturally vegan options, thanks to the use of coconut oil and coconut milk. Following a vegetarian or vegan diet is fairly easy on the island, as long as you choose traditional Sri Lankan dishes. So if you are on a gluten-free diet, it also shouldn't be a problem. Not only it's rice, the most popular choice of carbs, but rice flour is actively used in baking and sweets. So yeah. So if going back to my history as a kid, my Archie's kitchen, we call it Archie, my grandma. So also known as my grandma's kitchen, was the center of our family's universe. In it, there were love matches, fights, weddings, special festivals, wonderful food, and the traveling chips. Traveling chips who would arrive in carts with their massive pots and cook for hundreds. So I feel very lucky to have been passed on some of the recipes that were nurtured there. So our traditional meal system kicks off with breakfast, which usually includes milk rice and also known as kiribat, as you can see on the first picture. I know, we don't have much videos. It's just explanation, so please bear with me. So one of the tastiest breakfast dishes in Sri Lanka, a bit like savory rice pudding, kiribat is made by boiling white or brown kakulu rice, a type of Sri Lankan rice, with water and coconut milk. So it's pressed into a tray and cooled, then sliced into squares and served with a chili and onion sambol called lunumiris. So it's a really delicious meal for breakfast. On the second picture, when it comes to Sri Lankan must-eats, hoppers are at the top of the list for almost all food-loving travelers. A batter of rice flour and coconut milk is poured into a ball-shaped hopper pan, which allows a crispy thin outer layer and a slightly thicker center. So on the bottom, as you can see, a very yummy breakfast. A staple is string hoppers. We call it idiapa. A soft dough is made by mixing together rice flour and water, which is placed into a string hopper press and squeezed into mats to make the noodle like string hoppers. So I'm going to move into our next slide, which is, so this is our major meal in Sri Lanka, which is rice and curry. Rice and curry is a staple diet of Sri Lankans who enjoy some of the spiciest food in the world. Meat, poultry, fish, and vegetables are prepared as curries, while onions, green chilies, black pepper, cinnamon, cloves, and saffron are used to add flavors. So the next is dal. So we call it paripu, and I think you guys also call it paripu. I mean, it's a famous curry in Sri Lanka, so everyone have it. It's a fabulous and a quite famous curry. Should probably one of the Sri Lanka's favorite dishes, served at just about every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So for Sri Lankans and most other South Asians, dal means lentils. Now paripu or dal curry is a staple Sri Lankan dish, and it is most often prepared with masoor dal, I guess, otherwise known as red lentils, which are bright orange and in color and dark yellow when cooked. So the other meal you can see is, if you ask me what's some of the best foods to try in Sri Lanka, I'll point you to this slow cooked baby jackfruit curry, especially if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, cooked using green jackfruit, or you might also call raw jackfruit. The vegan dish makes a perfect meatless meal for any day of the week. So, and if you visit here, this is one Sri Lankan vegan curry dish you don't want to miss trying. When cooked with all right spices and coconut milk, it is an absolute die for dish. Spicy, a bit sour around edges, lots of spices, makes you think of home and family, and just bring a smile on your face. So the moving on to next slide. Another, it's a basically another dish that everyone loves here in Sri Lanka. It's called kottu. It is a combination of godamba roti, a flat flake bread mixed with spices and shredded vegetables, topped with egg, gravy, and chicken. The whole thing is heated on a griddle as the chef, like basically you, in a hotel, when you go to a hotel, you can see the two metal cleavers. They cut it and they make it as a very delicious food. So no, there is a saying, there is a Kottu roti legend says that once upon a time there was a Kottu sailor on the east coast of Sri Lanka that was closing up his roti stand when a group of tourists arrived asking for some food. So the roti seller only had scraps left from the day, so bits of cooked roti, some vegetables and leftover chicken curry at that time. So instead of telling the tourists that he was all out of food, he made a mashup of leftovers. Tourists loved it and raved about it in their travels. Thus, Kottu roti was born. So no one knows if this is a true story, but it's fun to have myths and legends, even about food. So the next item, as you can see, it's a bread, like many of us have in Sri Lanka. Bread is a highly consumed staple food in almost all the households here in Sri Lanka, served with various delicious curries. And also it can be used to like make sandwiches. This is actually a dinner. It is actually ideal food for dinner and also for breakfast as well. So many people here in Sri Lanka, they have this item food. So the other one is roti. So it's basically not the normal roti. It's a coconut roti. It's a flatbread made up of flour, grated coconut with diced green chilies and onions for extra texture. So since the roti is made with flour and coconut, the recipe is also vegan and vegetarian. So you will also come across Sri Lankan roti as street food, tea time snack at stationery carts or outside restaurants. So these roti will be served with spicy lumiris, sandwiched between two rotis with the curry. So make it a very easy breakfast on the go. So at home, the ease of mixing dough, coconut and flour roti makes it an easy option for breakfast and dinner. So moving on. So this is the Sri Lankan desserts. So we are talking about Sri Lankan desserts. Basically, we have our own traditional delicacies, which will have a mouth-watering appearance like anyone can have. So when Sri Lankan desserts are concerned, kiri pani is unfallingly the winner of my heart. In Sinhalese, kiri means curd and pani means honey. Curd. So basically, traditionally, the curd used in kiri pani is made from buffalo milk, thus taking a much thicker and creamy consistency as compared to that from cow milk. A difference which you will immediately appreciate once you have tasted it. The other dessert is the vatlapam. Is one of my all-time favorite Sri Lankan desserts. A delicious sweet and spicy custard of coconut milk and kittul palm sugar. Although this dessert is particularly favored by the Muslim community, vatlapam is commonly indulged in by many Sri Lankans at all kinds of celebrations and often served with bananas, usually of like a variety of bananas. So a bowl of vatlapam with palm sugar, caramel, and scented with the aroma of spices is believed to be the best way to enter a typical celebratory biryani feast. So moving on to next, our traditional desserts include. So these are, if you have a weakness for sweetness, then you should visit this rich melting of pot of cuisines without any hesitation. and grab a chance to soothe your cravings with the best traditional Sri Lankan desserts. Receives mention in the, like, basically you can see on the presentation itself. These are like our own traditional delicacies. So the first one is kavum, an oil cake with bun-like lump in the center. Konda kavum is also, it's another name for kavum. Is again a sweet treat prepared during the famous festivals in Sri Lanka. Batter of this dessert, which is mixture of sugar and honey, is poured into a wok of full of hot oil, and then the lump is created with the help of wooden skewer. So the next one is halapa. It's a unique traditional sweet of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is made up of kurakan flour, rice flour, and grated coconut, which is cooked together to make a thick consistency like dough. This mixture is then wrapped in a kanda leaf and then boiled until the doughy texture becomes firm. So the other one is kalu dodol. On the list of the best Sri Lankan sweets comes another dessert, so called kalu dodol, made with rice flour, jaggery, and the coconut milk, and garnished with raisins and nuts. This jelly-like candy mostly found in in the local grocery stores in the southern region of the island, in the country. As it requires a lot of time in preparation, you can find it in packets manufactured in the markets of in the southern region. So the other one is alua. Call it alua, mostly served in occasion of Tamil New Year or Singala. Is one of the traditional Sri Lankan sweets. The nutty sweet meat. Alwa is one of the favorite Sri Lankan desserts amongst the locals, usually prepared with two ingredients. So our traditional Sri Lankan cuisines, where a varied combination of tastes is prepared to have influenced of all who were once the immigrants to Sri Lanka. This cuisine that has the Dutch taste, English taste, and even South Indian taste is always somehow standing side along with the tradition and culture of the country. Moving on to next. The next one, please. Yes, thank you. So these are our traditional delicacies, which are basically that you can see in every hotel, every restaurant, and it's consumed by many Sri Lankans in the country. So it's a biryani dish. I think you guys know what biryani is. I mean, it's actually a rice cooked in meat stock and garnished with hard-boiled eggs, and I mean, I don't have to say what it is. So everyone have had it, I guess. So this is also a delicacy in Sri Lanka, which everyone has it, but I think mostly in India, they have a lot of biryanis. When I came once I went with Tariq, I remember we were searching for biryani in Bangalore when we came to Nalanda. So it was, I mean, you guys have the best biryani, but in Sri Lanka, you have to come and have that biryani as well, to taste the difference, how we cook and how you cook. So I think it is a good biryani, but we do it in a different way, you guys in a different way, but so this is one of our traditional delicacies. The next you see is lamb rice. Is probably the most significant from the Dutch colonization days in Sri Lanka. The term lamb rice, which loosely translates to a packet of lumped rice, of a very specific side dish and a delightfully flavored rice. So this is then wrapped in a banana leaves and baked in a warm oven for a few minutes until the aroma of the banana leaves infuse into the rice. So let me assure you, there isn't an aroma that will whet the Lankan appetite as much as that of a lamb rice. So up next is the Kolakanda is a traditional Sri Lankan herbal porridge. It is a mix of herbs, grated coconut, steamed rice, and a pinch of salt. Villagers start their day with a glass of it, freshly made at home. I remember my grandma saying, like morning, if you want to have a healthy body. So when giving me a glass of kolakanda, herbal drink along with some jaggery on a side plate, I loved having kolakanda mostly because I was getting a piece of jaggery, so which I normally ate after drinking my whole glass of kolakanda. So it is said that gotukola kanda, it's a herb leaf, will re-energize your body, improve your memory and intelligence, and straighten hair. So it fights depression and formation of blood clots as well. So the last slide of food, it's actually a we call it Ceylon tea. It was as far back as the year 1800, in which the British brought a tea plant from China to Ceylon, as Sri Lanka was known at the time. It was planted at Royal Botanical Gardens, Peradeniya, and is considered to have been the first non-commercial tea plant in Sri Lanka. So this gave rise to the tea industry of Ceylon, which not only flourished, but proceeded to gain reputation as the world's finest tea. So a person called James Taylor is the rightfully acknowledged pioneer. The success of the industry had numerous benefactors across like multiple fields. So it was this cohesion and collective contribution from the various professionals that enabled the industry to prosper as it did. So that's about me. That's about it from my side about food. I hope it's a detailed explanation, and I'm sorry that I don't have any videos of it. I think it would really tempt. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And Tariq, over to you.
Thank you, Shamshad. It was definitely just it went back in history for me, where some of the dishes that you also talked about were some of my favorites too. Okay, next item is about Sri Lankan weddings. I would like to invite you would basically see some of the things that you are already do in India in weddings also here overlap, but we have tried to make a difference in whichever other way possible. Now I would like to invite our member JC Sham Nizam to do the presentation. Over to you, Sham.
Sham, you have to unmute and speak. Sham, we can't hear you. Hello, still nothing is audible. Sham, if you're speaking, please unmute yourself and speak. Yeah, Mr. Tariq, we are not able to hear anything.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah, the thing is, the host has to unmute. The same issue I had, he's also going through. If the host can unmute him, he will be able to carry on with the presentation.
Sham Nizam, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sham
He's done
Nizam is
now.
a
Isham.
yeah. Sham, he
Yeah.
can unmute himself. He's a co-host.
Okay, I'll let him know now. It didn't allow. Just a second.
Now he unmuted. He can speak on that machine.
Okay, I think it should be all right now.
If we can turn on the video also, it will be good.
Yeah.
Sham, are you there? Still, we are not able to.
It is still the same error message actually. He's trying to. Then it says the host has to unmute.
Let him try again. Hisham, right?
Hisham Nizam cannot.
Yeah, Hisham, I made him again co-host.
He's on line with me, but he's on the phone. He's trying to unmute himself. It is still. Can the host unmute him?
I did.
From his end.
I already did. You can ask him to.
But I think still the sign is still there under his name, Isham, Hisham.
But
Still the sign shows as he's
it's
muted.
co-host. He's a co-host. So
Now he's. All right. Now it's fine. Now he should be able to share, speak about it. Yes, thanks.
And good afternoon, all the JCs in India and Sri Lanka. I'm Hisham Nizam, representing Colombo JCI chapter. Here onwards, I'll be taking the topic of wedding cultures in Sri Lanka. So wedding cultures in Sri Lanka shows, different differences, tradition to tradition, religion to religion. So I'll be segregating based on religion and ethnic group of in Sri Lanka. So we're looking into basically Buddhist or Sinhalese culture first. Okay, so that is also will be segregated under upcountry tradition and southern tradition, and Sri Lanka Hindu or Tamil wedding culture, Christian wedding, and Islam or Muslim and Malay wedding cultures. Moving to our first segregation, Buddhist or Sinhalese wedding. So the Buddhist or Sinhalese wedding culture in Sri Lanka consists of two different traditions. The upcountry tradition, also known as in Sinhalese Udarata tradition, and southern tradition, also known as the Pahatarata tradition. So mostly the Udarata wedding traditions are the most colorfulness and I believe to be most native to Sri Lanka. Moving to next slide. Let's look at some of important elements of Buddhist or Sinhalese wedding culture. So Nakata, the auspicious time. So the auspicious time, the Nakata also referred to, is very important in part of Buddhist wedding. The date and time of wedding are usually decided by an astrologer. After consulting the bride and groom's horoscope, they'll be fixing an auspicious time for both the parties. So the second element is Poru ceremony. So the Poru ceremony is the area where beautifully decorated the traditional wooden platform. The Poru ceremony commences as per the auspicious time. So the decoration of Poru ceremony includes the elegantly decorated platform. So then it's generally made of wooden pillars and overheading roof. As the ceremony starts, the bride and the groom walk up together to the porua, leading with their right feet and facing the guest. The guests are seated separately based on their relationship with couples. Generally, the bride side is seated on the right side, while the groom side is seated on the left side. So the groom is escorted by the wedding location with drummers and Canadian dancers. The bride and the groom greet each other with their palms held together in a traditional manner, saying Aiboan, how we, say Aiboan. That's how they also, greet each other on the wedding day. So the bride and the couple will be offered sheaf of betel leaves where they hold and they turn to be used during the Poru ceremony. So talking about auspicious 7, the 7 betel leaf bundles are offered to God, which is offered as a request to protect the lives of 7 generations starting from their marriage. Much like Hindu customs, the bride's father places the right hand of his daughter on that of the groom. That is as a symbolizing gesture of handing over the bride to the groom. Then ceremony, about the starting of the ceremony, as mentioned earlier, the Sri Lankan culture of wedding involves many, representatives. So the master of ceremony, called in Sinhalese Shaladipati. Then secondly, you will find a narrator who recite religious chants, and a group of young girls who bless the marriage with religious chants. So these are multiple rituals where traditionally sacred to Buddhism. So each one of is conducted due to a specific belief. At the given auspicious time, now once the ceremony begins, so it often starts with auspicious 7 betel leaf ceremony. The brides and grooms take turns and repeat the process. So each one takes the betel leaf at a time and drops into the porwa. So once the ceremony is complete, the groom's brother is supposed to stand with a tray where it consists of a gold necklace. The groom in turn takes the necklace and places it on the bride's neck. So that's how the ceremony, begins in the Sinhala Buddhist wedding. Then the next element of the wedding is the tying of pirit nool. That's the golden knot. So back then, when registered marriages were not available, the tying of the pirit nool, the sacred thread, was considered as a symbol of the union of marriage. So the golden thread that symbolizes unity is tied by basically the master of ceremony. Once the master of ceremony ties the bride's and groom's fingers, he is then pour the holy water from a Canadian crafted silver jug. So as you can see in this presentation, the golden jug. Okay, basically here, they've used the golden jug. Okay, so this is a prominent ritual in Sinhalese Buddhist wedding. The ritual is significant because the water and earth are 2 sacred elements in Buddhism. So once the golden knot, once the pirit nool is tied up and that part is over, then the gifting of white cloth comes up. So after completion of pirit nool rituals, the groom is required to present a white cloth to his bride. So after bride is done, looking at the cloth, she hands that over to her mother. White cloth is a lengthy cloth given to bride's mother as an expression of gratitude by the groom to his mother-in-law. So this is regarded as a beautiful, heartwarming part in this wedding culture. So the groom promises the bride's parents that the groom will be taking care of their daughter for the rest of his life. At the end, when the wedding is completing almost, so wedding is not completing now. The groom will be cutting basically the couple will be cutting the milk cake, like we call as kiribat. So in the wedding culture in Sri Lanka, they usually have this kiribat, the milk cake. So like in Western culture, usually cut a wedding cake. That's how in Sinhala Buddhist wedding, it is milk rice basically we use. The bride's mother is required to feed the couple a mouth of milk rice. Then groom's mother is required to give them each a sip of milk. With that, the ceremony ends. So the newly married couple steps down the tradition, the porua. One of groom's family members break the fresh coconut, signifying the new beginning of the couple. So that's about the Buddhist and Sinhalese wedding. Moving into next slide, Sri Lanka Hindu wedding. So the Hindu wedding is determined by the priest or an astrologer. Then again, as I told you, like in Buddhist weddings, okay, so astrologer plays a vital role, okay, in Sri Lanka, not only in wedding, okay, in many, special occasions, okay, connected to the culture. So a few weeks prior, the groom presents a gold coin. So where the bride's party will be using that gold coin into the thali. It's a pendant. I think most of southern part of India, okay, know about this thali matter. So just I'll go through the same, cultural thing once again. So it's the most sacred, bridal ornament. Okay, it's worn by wife as long as the husband lives. So on the day of the wedding, so the best man, usually the bride's brother, along with other family members of the bride, goes to house of groom and takes him to the wedding hall along with the groom's relatives. So in the part of the welcoming the groom, once the groom arrives to the hall, he is welcomed by the bride's family, where after welcoming the ceremony, he'll be sitting near the priest, where the priest will be conducting the ceremony for him and the bride to be. The next part of the ceremony is welcoming the arrival of the bride. So after purification of by the priest and fertility rituals by married ladies from both families, the bride arrives and sits beside the groom. Thereafter, the various recitals. So the blessings from gods, the 9 planets, then from Agni god. So there are a lot of gods involved in this rituals. I think a lot of Hindus in this platform must know, must be knowing these rituals and the connection between gods and the religion part. So they basically they asked to bear the witness of union along with the ancestors of both families. So bride hand is given in a marriage to groom, and long process rituals and blessings. It goes on nearly 4 to 5 hours. So then thereafter the rice grain shower. So at the end of the ceremony, the bride and groom are showered with grains of rices with that's to symbolize the fertility. So that's about the Hindu wedding culture. So moving into Sri Lankan Christian wedding. Yeah. So the Christian wedding also follows different customs and styles. But Christian weddings in Sri Lanka are not so different from Western weddings. So basically the couples married in a church. So where the church is attractively decorated with flowers and other wedding decorations. So the Christian wedding ceremony is important occasion. So where they reflect beliefs about the nature of marriage. So it's a symbolic element. There the ceremony will usually start with the bride enters into the church, where she will wear a white dress, which symbolizes the purity. The priest or minister will then welcome the worshippers or the crowd in the church. Christian wedding will always contain prayers, readings from Bibles. So so these passages will be carefully chosen so that they discuss the important marriage and offer guidance to the couple. Moving to next slide. At many wedding ceremonies, the couple will light a candle, okay, that represent the light of Jesus, which Christian beliefs will guide the couple throughout their marriage lives. So for most of the Christians, the most important part of the wedding ceremony is the vow, and the exchange of rings. The vows, the promise the couple make each other during their marriage. So mostly they will follow one traditional vow, where displayed in this presentation, or else some of the couples, okay, they may write their own vows. So after making the vows, the couple exchange the rings. That is again the symbolize the marriage should last forever. So the wedding ceremony will continue, usually followed after reception at a hotel. So that's about the wedding in Christianity, how they follow generally. Then looking into Sri Lankan Muslim wedding. So I'll just go through Sri Lankan Muslim community, where even within this Muslim community there are a lot of small ethnic groups. So the majority is Moors. Okay, then we find Malays, and Mayman is also there. So we are Moors are kind of Arab traders who first settled in Sri Lanka in fifth centuries. In 13th centuries, Malays were basically the soldiers posted by the Dutchers. Okay, so during their colonial period, Malays arrived in Sri Lanka. Then the Maymans originally from Pakistan. So they arrived in 18th century as entrepreneurs. They arrived Sri Lanka for business purposes. So now I'll be taking you through, there, even though among the Muslim community, there are ethnic differences, okay, more or less they follow the same tradition in Sri Lanka. So we'll be going to the next slide. That's about nikah ceremony, where the nikah ceremony generally is held in mosque, okay, in the presence of the guru. Guru is the Muslim registrar for the marriages. So then the male relatives of the bride and groom, in addition to other devotees in the mosque, okay, will be there for the wedding. That happens most probably in the evening, after evening prayers. So during the registration time, the wedding ring will be slipped by groom's finger by bride's father. So not only in the mosque, okay, some of wedding nikah ceremony will be held at wedding reception. So after the registration of nikah, the groom has to give a mahar payment. So mahar is kind of a token of gift given by husband to the wife. So the next events will be the parcha ceremony. So bride and groom are blessed by their elders in their respective residence before they leave for their wedding reception. During the wedding reception, the bride enters to the venue of the wedding reception and sits on the throne. So that's in Sinhala's weddings like Porua. So in Muslim settings, okay, they have throne. Even in Christian weddings, you could find you'll be able to see the throne. So the throne before the arrival of the groom. So the groom is greeted in the entrance of the venue by an elderly male relatives of the bride by offering some welcoming rituals. So thereafter, the groom will be escorted to the throne by the bride's father. So at the throne, the groom ties the necklace on the bride, and also they, they put the wedding ring. The couple thereafter, greets. They give salams to each other. So that will be the basic elements what happens during wedding reception in Muslims wedding. So after wedding reception, there will be another celebration, in the sense there's another occasion called walima ceremony. So within a week of wedding, the walima is held. So the function is hosted by the bridegroom. So walima signifies basically the groom has become a part of the household. So that's all about Sri Lanka wedding culture. I think, okay, even though it is not that very much interactive, because nowadays, okay, we mostly, have videos and audio, things. So this is basically, we thought of doing a, basic presentation. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much, all. Tariq, over to you.
Thank you, Sham. Next item in our presentation today is the introduction of Sri Lankan festival. So I would like to invite Harshini if she is there today. She had to leave early. I think she is not there. So I'll take on the proceedings. I'll do the slide on behalf of her. I think she left because it was a little late. So let me quickly run through her presentation for today. She'll talk about the festivals that are celebrated in Sri Lanka month-wise. Once again, some festivals that are also there in India is again we also follow suit here in Sri Lanka. So majorly, as you can see in the first slide, these are the main religions in Sri Lanka. The Buddhists are the majority, and then we have Muslims, Tamils, Christians, Burghers, etc. We have a multi-ethnic country, and not as big as India, but we have a multi-ethnic country with some degree of diversity. So here, these are some of the celebrations. These are actually practiced here in our country in a kind of a very big way. First, as you can see on the left, it's the welcoming of the new year. In every office, in most households, you can see everybody celebrating the new year with some of those traditional foods which the earlier presenter showed you all, like kiribat, cow, etc. Using those, they used to celebrate the new year, and also it also depicts the beginning of this new school term as well. So it's a small charm ceremony held in the households and in the offices. It's done in a big way by bringing in all the bosses, as well as the entire office staff will be joining the celebrations to mark the new year. I mean, it's somewhat similar to practiced everywhere, but we only difference here is we have use our traditional food to celebrate the new year. And the Thai Pongal festival, I think it's nothing new. It is celebrated by Hindus. I mean, I'm not going to talk more about it. It falls in January here in Sri Lanka, and the drawing of columns are some of the things that are there in on the Thai Pongal festival. And also Alut Sahal Mangya, something new to Sri Lanka. And then what this actually talks about, the rice harvest being presented to the Lord Buddha, and then get the blessings of the Buddha to have a better harvest next year, as well as to get a good income from the harvest that they have got this year. So they take to the, and especially the picture shows here of the harvest taken to the Kandy, the temple of the tooth relic, we call it, where the relic of the tooth of Lord Buddha is there it's preserved there in the temple of the tooth relic that's in Kandy. That's widely known for the Peraharas that are held. That's happening in Kandy. The next one is the Independence Day. We celebrate it here. We got independence from British in 1948, and then we celebrate it in a big way, like in all other countries. We bring in our tri-forces, as well as the representation of our cultures. That also happens. It's a very colorful event with so many dresses and different type of dresses, drummers, beats, so many things that is happening around. That happens in February. If you are planning to visit Sri Lanka, this is a good time as well, and as well as April, which I will talk to you about. February is a good month too. And also in March, it's the Mahashivaratri day. It's actually celebrated by the Hindus. So I'm not going to touch most upon about that festival. Most of you all are aware of it. And Miladun Nabi festival, it's the birth of Prophet Muhammad. It is celebrated around the world. And here also it is celebrated, and it is a public holiday. across Sri Lanka on the Miladun Nabi Day, that is the birthday of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. So that falls mostly on March, as well as the Easter celebration that's celebrated by the Christians after the season of Lent, observing the crucifixion and rising of the Christ. So that also happens happens in March. That is also celebrated in a fairly big way by Sri Lankans, Christian community. And the previous night rituals, as well as the following day morning rituals that happens here in Sri Lanka. And the Sinhala and Tamil New Year, this is actually a very big celebration. It's again a holiday for the entire country. This is the dawn of the new year according to the astrological calendar. So the Sinhala and Tamil New Year is celebrated according to that calendar. Not the English calendar, but the astrological Sinhala and Tamil calendar, which actually they use. I think that's celebrated in India as well, if I'm not mistaken, in certain states. And religious and celebrations at home, and then we use all this traditional food that are of Sri Lankan origin itself. We use that, and then there is a set of line of programs during certain times. We carry out certain activities like preparation of meals. There is a certain time that they can start, and then to do transactions like money transactions. There is certain time to start, and they have to dress to the occasion, and then they have to face the east, etc. There are so many things that are there on those particular days. That's old and new. New Year we call old Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The following day will be the new Sinhala and Tamil New Year. Likewise, it's celebrated across the country itself. Not only the Sinhala and Tamil people, but the rest of the ethnic communities also celebrate as it is one of the biggest festivals in the country. And also something unique is also the games. We have special games. Like I said, it's again a good year to visit month to celebrate. Visit Sri Lanka, the month of April, where you could see different games that are being played apart from the special food that is served. So, like they say, Kottapura. Likewise, there are so many others, so many games that are being played as well, just to mark the occasion. The next one is the Vesak ceremony. This is the Colombo, streets of Colombo and across the country will be bright with a lot of lanterns, pandals, and then a lot of colors. You can see the roads will be completely wet with all these lightings and all. This is celebrated basically across the world to observe the birth, enlightenment, and death of the Lord Buddha. So religious ceremonies are also observed in temples, and then entire country lit with lights, and then it's a festival of light, we call it in Sri Lanka. And also there will be dansals, which is actually stalls that are providing free alms, free food to those underprivileged, and also those who actually come across the different states to Colombo. It is free food is given, that is lunch, breakfast, meals, and dinner. Everything is given free of charge on this particular day. And then the Posan full moon Poya Day, celebration of the arrival of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. So that is also celebrated in a very big way by the Buddhists in Sri Lanka, especially. So religious observations take place in their homes, as well as in the temples as well. And the Ramazan festival, as you all know, this is after 30-day fast. Muslims all over the world celebrate this festival. That mostly falls on. It is according to the different calendar, about Muslim calendar. But then again, most on general, it falls in June. And the Candy Esala Perahara, this is where so many tourists flock to our country as well. It is again, it's in Kandy, it happens in Kandy. It's a procession of the temple of truth to request shower blessings to the country and its people. Like, it is kind of happening every year for the last, so many years. It has been centuries, for centuries it has been continued, but this year it happened in a very smaller way due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which we also had an effect in the normal life in our country. And as you can see in the picture, the background picture shows elephants. The elephants holding the one elephant on the top that is holding the tooth relic of the Lord Buddha, and also some of these dances that they are doing. They are performing on the roads of Kandy. And yeah, so that's about it on that. The picture shows a lot of information about it. And then in October, November, and December, these are some of the festivals. Deepavali, it's definitely something that's celebrated in India. And the Hajj festival, this is observed by Muslims here in Sri Lanka. And finally the Christmas, this entire world celebrates it. And we are no different. We also celebrate it in a big way across offices, and across all households. They celebrate the Christmas celebration. So that comes to an end of presentation. I'm sorry, Arshani wasn't able to be here since it took a little long. She had to leave early. So next comes to my slide, which I was supposed to do today, the cultural dance arts of Sri Lanka. Most of it are influenced by India, but then again we have done some changes, to the dance patterns, etc. I will talk to you more about it in my next few slides. The history of dance in Sri Lanka, as you can see here, well-known classical dance from Sri Lanka, colorful costumes are being worn by these dancers over here, and then it's actually date back to the 4th century BC. The primary purpose of these dances is to worship and to expel natural disasters and sickness caused by supernatural powers. So later, this is the main reason why these dances happen. This is predominantly followed by the Buddhist culture. The Buddhists here in Sri Lanka, which is the majority. And later in 15th century, this again, like I said, most of it are influenced by South Indian flavor, but then we actually made a little different, and then finally, this is how final outcome is. This is how the dances look like. I have a link here. I'll try to see if I can show it to you. Where some of the dances are there. I'm sorry. Just a second. Yes. Hope it works. Just give me a few seconds. I'll try to show it to you all. This shows some of the colors and how vibrant these dancers perform, in the streets and, in office programs across the country. Well, seems like it's taking still time to load. So I'll run through the next slide until it comes up. Okay. This is on to your left. You can see the Candian dance. This is done by the upcountry people, which we call the Candian kingdom. During the Candian kingdom era, we have had several kingdoms in the past in Sri Lanka, like Polonnaruwa kingdom, where the Polonnaruwa king ruled the entire country, and then Anuradhapura kingdom. Candian kingdom was the last in Sri Lanka. So this onto your left, that is the dance form that is practiced by the Candian kingdom, and then mostly seen in all the Peraharas and several other functions here in Sri Lanka. The men actually who dance here, they wear skirt-like dresses in which their chest is decorated with exclusive silver regalia and stunning headgear called vestattua. That what they are wearing on their heads is called vestattua, and that is something very unique for them. Where after so many stages, only they'll get this vestattua and they can perform in public. Okay. Yes, I think the presentation. Sorry about that. Let me try to get to that video. I think it's working now. Give me a few seconds, please. Sorry about technical issues.
Madam, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I think that was a wonderful presentation, and to know more about Sri Lanka, this was the first time I have been experiencing this Sri Lankan culture. And I would request everyone to switch on your videos so that we can take a group photo of both India and Sri Lanka. Requesting participants
We can
so
take
that yes, madam.
no. After the vote of thanks, we can.
Yeah. After the vote of thanks, as suggested by our chairperson, we will be taking a group photo. So requesting you all to stay tuned. Over to you, Chairman, madam.
Just before you move on to the before Yashaswini takes over, let me apologize for the technical difficulty at the end of this presentation. I have a few more slides to go to. I will just run through it very quickly, and then we can finish off. It will not take much time. These some of the other art forms that are practiced in the country. These are something very unique to our country, and these are some of the folk dance and drama, etc.
Tariq sir, screen is not visible. Screen is not shared yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's that's what I was saying. I'm going through some internet bandwidth issues here. Okay, it's okay. I think we can. No, you carry on. I'm sorry. I don't think I'll be able to share the screen now. It's giving me an error.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tariq. Thank you very much. We had wonderful time in knowing, understanding very rich culture of both the countries. It was a true voyage to explore India and Sri Lanka. The closing ceremony, closing formalities of cultural exchange program is hereby reconvened. Now I request our Executive Vice President JC Anshu sir, for your feedback. He's there.
Yeah, yes, Ashwini madam. Thank you for the privilege extended. So the chairman of this wonderful exchange program, fantastically participated, inaugurated, coordinated by the LOM president, dynamic presidents of Bangalore, Cosmo, and JCI Colombo, JC Yashashwini, the national president, sir, the zone president, JC Samta madam, the galaxy of leaders present, the members and junior JCs, a warm good afternoon to all of you. We are very short of time, so I'll not take much of the time. But yes, I'll like to congratulate you all for the fantastic, the wonderful fun that we had, knowing the enriched culture of both the countries, and specifically we as a member, or I as a member of JCI India, as a part of this country. It was a wonderful day for me, because today is also a World Tourism Day. And we got to know, it was like a virtual fun that we are having, enjoying the tourism of Sri Lanka. I learned so many culture, the diversified culture of Sri Lanka, the spices, the festivals, the weddings. So thank you, Yashashwini madam, the entire Zone 14, both the LOMs, and the LOM president, Jc Ratan Kataria and Tariq Nazir, for such a wonderful event that has been hosted. My best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I request NAM coordinator Needblade Karl JC Rakhi Jain madam for your observation of feedback. She is not there, right?
Ma'am is not there, yeah.
Okay. I request past National President TVN Murthy sir for your words, sir, for your feedback.
Oh, thank you so much. I never knew that I'm going to speak. It was a wonderful program. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to JCI Colombo for giving us the wonderful voyage into the country Sri Lanka. As our EVP rightly said, today is the World Tourism Day, and without having a visa, without having a ticket, without crossing the border, we enjoyed visiting Sri Lanka. Thank you so much. Ayubowan.
Thank you so much, sir. I am now IPZP remarks. He's not okay. Now it's time for vote of thanks. I call upon Junior JC Phaki Bhandari to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Chair. I, Junior JC Phaki Bhandari, Junior JC Secretary of JCI Bangalore Garden City, thank you all for joining us on an interesting session of culture exchange. I thank our chief guest for the day, our vibrant and ever-smiling National President JCI Senator Anish Mathew sir, who has supported us by being there for us always. I thank our inaugurator for the day, the amazing National President of JCI Sri Lanka, Dr. Dilan sir, for joining hands with us. I would like to thank our enterprising Zone President of Zone 14, JC Samta Miskut ma'am. I thank our motivational and energetic chairman and our Zone Director, JC Yashaswini ma'am, and our Junior JC Coordinator too. I thank all the past presidents, all the past national presidents, past and present National Executive Committee members, and national governing members of JCI India and JCI Sri Lanka. I thank the wonderful long president of JCI Colombo, JC Tariq sir, who collaborated with us for this wonderful culture exchange program. I thank the brilliant host LOM, JCI Bangalore Cosmo, and the president of this interesting event, JFM Ratan Kataria sir. I thank JCI Sri Lanka for joining hands with us. I thank all the creative participants who put their efforts for showing our beautiful culture. They actually made our day. Thank you. I thank JC Praveen Udupu from 1A Logics Mangaluru from Zone 15, who was our technical support. Thank you so much, sir. I thank all JCs, JCRTs, and junior JCs of Sri Lanka and India. My heartfelt thanks to all participants, without whom this event would not have been a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Paki. JCI India and JCI Sri Lanka Cultural Exchange Program organized by JCI India Zone 14 Junior JC Wing hosted by JCI Bangalore Cosmo. I hereby adjourn the meeting.